Good afternoon, everybody watching, and to the kids that have also joined in our show today. Welcome, welcome. My name is Kerry Dupree, and I will be your naturalist presenter for the next 2 hours. We are very excited to be starting off the show today over in Hoedspruit, which is in South Africa near Kruger National Park. This is the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Center, and we have a female cheetah here. Her name is Tammy, kids, and this female cheetah had 4 little baby cheetah cubs yesterday. So she had 2 in the morning at about 5 a.m., so very early start to the day for this female cheetah. She had another little baby cheetah cub at 6 a.m., and then she had another baby, surprisingly, at about 2. We watched 1400, so 2 o'clock, midday, just after midday, and we watched this little baby cheetah being born. So very exciting to start off today with this magnificent predator, this female cheetah and her cubs. So just a reminder that this is a live and interactive experience. You can watch us on our app. If you're watching on the website, you can go to register, ask any questions. I know we have some questions coming from the kids today about Kenya, Kenyan culture, traditions, and wildlife. So I've got some information about Kenya prepared for you kids. You can also scan the QR code on screen now to send through those questions. There's also an option to send through questions on WhatsApp now as well. So yeah, lovely to start off the day with our cheetah female Tammy over in Hoedspruit. We will check out our other locations today to see what else is happening out there in case we don't see too much activity with this female. Sometimes if the babies are sleeping or there's not too much activity, we'll have a look. Hopefully, I have my fingers crossed that in Stony Point we might be lucky. Our penguins there, I think the eggs hatched a couple of days ago, so maybe we'll get some little baby penguins over in Stony Point, and we will always keep a lookout for any other wildlife that might be out there. So a little bit of information, folks, about this female cheetah Tammy. So she is 9 years old, and the father, or the male that she mated with, and the father of these little cubs, he is a spotless male. Yeah, he's also been at the sanctuary. I also had a look. There's another female cheetah called Becky, also at the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Trust. So as far as I can see, there might be about 3 or 4 cheetah at this sanctuary or trust. And they also have a rhino population, some white rhinos, as well as some endangered bird species too. So kids, where it's so important in Africa or any countries that you have wildlife, these kind of endangered or rescue centers are so important for animals. Sometimes animals in the wild, they do get injuries. Some of these injuries are from natural causes, but other injuries can be human related. So for example, snares, sometimes especially cheetah, wild dogs, they might be hit by cars. They don't always die. Sometimes they're left with these crippling injuries, which means they can be rehabilitated in a sanctuary and hopefully one day released back into the wild. So hopefully these little baby cheetah at about the age of 3 to 4 years, they will also spend their life in the wild once they've been rehabilitated and learned how to take care of themselves in a natural environment. So yeah, I don't see any of these little baby cheetah at this moment. I did check in earlier with Tammy to see where her babies were. I did see them today somewhere, so it's going to be a surprise to see how many baby cheetah cubs we can count today. I'm not sure if she has given birth to any more cubs in the night, but the last time I checked, there were 4 little baby cheetah cubs. So Evie, 7 years old, is asking a question about one of the most rare animals in Africa. So we have a lot of rare and endangered animal species, Evie. Some of these species are including this cheetah. So cheetah and wild dogs, they are some of the most endangered predators in Africa, as well as black rhino. Black rhino is another very endangered animal in Africa, but that's why these rehab and rehabilitation centers are so important for this population, so that now we can help to increase the population of cheetah in Africa. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 6,000 to 7,000 cheetah that are left in southern Africa. That's a bit of a rough estimate, from last year. So there could be some more, but with this female cheetah having 4 little cubs, it's just increased the population quite a lot. So very, very special that this rehabilitation center can help to increase the meta population of cheetah in Africa. So very important to protect these endangered species, so that when you kids also come on safari one day, that you'll be able to see cheetah, wild dogs, and black rhino. So we have another comment coming through from Hendrik. Thank you for joining us today, Hendrik, and I hope you join in the chitter chatter of the day. So kids, I need you to help me find these little baby cheetah. I can't see them at the moment, but if you have a look where this female cheetah's tail is, they could just be lying next to her on her belly. So these little baby cheetah, when they're born, for the first few days, they're actually not able to see. Their eyes are closed, and it's very difficult for them to actually see anything within the first few days. So they kind of just make a bit of a squeaking sound. They'll be very focused on feeding or suckling from their mother. Cheetah don't generally make den sites. They normally hide their little cubs in the thickets, bushes, or I've even seen a female cheetah hiding her cubs in a little bit of a rocky area. And because cheetah are so under pressure or threatened, they're very small predator, very easily able to be attacked by bigger predators like lions and leopards. Oh, there we go. Here's our little babies, guys. Oh, check. So have a look here, kids. We've got, I hope we can find 4 little baby cheetah cubs. So see, if these cheetah cubs are in the wild, a lion could very easily come and kill these cubs. So this female cheetah in the wild, she would need to move her babies every 2 to 3 days to a new area in order to protect her little offspring. So I'm only seeing 2. Check at these little cheetah. Aren't they adorable? They're still very very weak, kind of bouncing around all over the place. Shame, when our little cheetah we saw that was born yesterday, that little cheetah cub, it was still very wobbly. It takes quite a bit of time for them to develop those muscles in their bodies to be able to grow up to be a fully matured adult cheetah, which generally between the ages of 18 to 22 months is when cheetah start becoming adults. So we've got a bit of an update from one of our viewers, Jive Bunny. Thank you for the update. So apparently everyone was a little bit concerned last night. This female cheetah left her cubs alone for quite a long time at quite a distance. Eventually she did move over and let her cubs suckle. So shame. It's a hard world for a cheetah mother if you've got 4 little cheetah cubs constantly seeking your affection, attention, and suckling from you. So it's not easy for a female cheetah, just like with humans. Little newborn babies are always quite demanding. But she is 9 years old, so this female cheetah Tammy. So I do have much faith that she's probably had a few litters of cubs before, little baby cheetah cubs, so I'm sure she does know what she's doing. Where are the other cubs? We've got 2. We're looking for the other 2 now. So yesterday there were 2, the first 2 that were born together seemed to be very well bonded to one another, and there was one that was hanging out by itself, and then of course we've got our last little cheetah cub that was newly born. I don't know where he's going to fit into this little social group of cheetahs. But if you would like to vote, folks, for a name for these little baby cheetah. I see the Africam Instagram page has a poll going, so if anyone would like to place a vote for a name of these little baby cheetah, please feel free to head over to the Africam Instagram page, or I've actually shared the poll onto my Instagram as well, so you can go over there and place a name forward for these little baby cheetah. Your name might not be picked, but hey, if we get quite a few popular names, they might put the names forward to the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Trust and maybe find a really cool name for these little cheetah. So I'm just having a look here, the average lifespan of a cheetah. So average lifespan of a cheetah is about 8 to 12 years of age. So this female cheetah, she's in captivity. A lot of animals that live in captivity generally live longer. So we're just having a scan around to see if we can find those other two little cheetah cubs. Pretty sure these will be the oldest of the litter. The two that were born first yesterday, just over 24 hours old already, and they are quite cute little fluffy creatures. So yeah, this female cheetah, she'll probably live to the age of 12, maybe even older than 12 years old, because she lives in captivity. But in the wild, there are a lot of factors that could affect these cheetah and shorten their lifespan. We were chatting yesterday quite in depth about cheetah, and yeah, some of these factors that affect these cheetah in the wild might be other predators that they can fall prey to or be killed by. There's environmental conditions as well that might affect their food source. So they feed on medium to small size antelope. If there's not enough antelope, that's not enough food for them. So these environmental conditions can affect them as well. And habitat loss. So because cheetah need wide open plains, habitat loss can be an issue for this species. Oh, have a look here. So you've got, I'm hoping, two little baby cheetah that are lying. Oh, there we go. Have a look at this little guy. So yeah, looks like she's keeping at least one or two very close to her. They were busy suckling yesterday, so in their first few days, they'll pretty much just be sleeping and drinking most of the day, trying to get around if possible. They only really start being able to move around and walk a bit at the age of 2 to 3 years. So yeah, not much of an eventful life for these cheetahs in their first few days of life. They're just trying to gain some protein from their mother's milk, build up some strength, start building those muscles of theirs in order to be able to move around. So you can see she's panting. Have a look at her belly. It's moving up and down there. So we're just missing one. We have a count of 3 little cheetah cubs. Just missing. There could still be another little baby cheetah nestled into kind of the fluff of her leg over there, just resting up close to her.
For years we've shared virtual wildlife. Now let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
Join the Wild Earth YouTube superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube superfan community today.
Would you like to know at what age a buffalo calf gets its horns? These are questions that you can ask me in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
If you're thinking about booking a trip with Wild Earth, do it. I highly recommend it.
Will need to go out and feed in a natural environment. She will need to go out and hunt and feed. When she does so, she will make sure to stash her little baby cheetah cubs as best as she can in a thicket or some very thick grass or some bushes, while she hides her cheetah cubs away from any predators. So I'm going to play, I have a call from the little cheetah that it was vocalizing yesterday. So this was the last born cheetah cub. Oh, there we go, folks. So we've got a really nice clear visual of the other two cheetah cubs here. Not too sure yet if they are male or female. It's a little bit early to tell, but hopefully as they get bigger, we'll be watching this cheetah family very closely, and as soon as we're aware of the sex, I'm sure we'll all be notified. So we're getting some information from Tracy. So Tracy was trying to help us locate the other cheetah cub. Apparently there was a green sandy area just behind where this female Tammy was, that the other cheetah baby was seen. But thanks for your info, Tracy. Looks like they've all come together. So thank goodness they're in pairs of 2, 2, 2, because if they were in the wild and a little baby cheetah is on its own, the predators of cheetah are not just lion and leopard, but even an eagle, bigger bird of prey, or hyena. If they walk past and see a little baby cheetah on its own, that's a very, very good little snack for them. So they would not waste time to snack on a little baby cheetah. So there's always a lot more power in numbers. So I'm going to play this cheetah call. This is the baby cheetah from yesterday that was calling probably less than 20 minutes after it was born. So cool little baby cheetah sound there. How awesome to hear this little cheetah after less than 20 minutes after it was born. It was already crying, already vocalizing, maybe hungry for milk. So the female cheetah, when their little ones are born, obviously they're born in this embryonic sac, and the female cheetah will very quickly lick up that sac, break it, and remove any afterbirth or blood or any evidence of the birthing period or process from the scene, so that it reduces the amount of predators that might smell this little baby cheetah that's just been born. So it's the same as antelope. So antelope, it's quite disgusting, but even antelope will actually eat their afterbirth. I watched a video recently of a buffalo, female buffalo, feeding on her afterbirth. It wasn't a great sight to watch, I must admit. I was a little bit traumatized. But yeah, even antelope will actually feed on the afterbirth so that they reduce the amount of predators that are attracted. Because imagine that smell of blood will attract jackals, hyenas, maybe even lion and a leopard if they are in the area. So Tony Rousseau, thank you so much for your comment. Yes, this is so cute, I must say. I'm really enjoying watching these cheetah, and I'm really looking forward to following this family of cheetah over the next couple of weeks. I'll be with you live at the waterhole. What's today? Thursday, tomorrow Friday, as well as next week. So very excited to be able to see these very cute little cheetah grow. I was quite excited today to start off with them, see what was happening, and also very curious to see if another cheetah was maybe born last night. I know some of our viewers from yesterday said that, well, you know, I've been chatting to some of my wildlife experts, and they did say it is very unusual to have such a large gap between one baby cheetah cub's birth being born and another. So normally when a female cheetah gives birth to her little cubs like these guys, it can be within a 3 to 4 hour period, and the normal birthing period between each little cub is about 20 to 30 minutes. So to have a 9-hour gap between her third cub that was born and the fourth cub is rather unusual. So yeah, but again, nature is incredible, and strange things do happen every day that we cannot explain. So I think this last little cheetah cub, whatever, if you're thinking of a name for it, it has to be something that maybe means like a miracle baby, or yeah, because definitely the chance of that baby being born alive is very slim. So most of the time, if you have one baby that is born late, it could be born stillborn or not born alive, because it was quite a long period before the third cub was born and the last cub.
We have just had our efforts paid off.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Would you like to know the difference between a male and a female wildebeest? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions,
Animals rely on their senses.
share your thoughts, and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
flightless birds. They cannot fly, but they do make up for it because they're very good swimmers. What is this penguin doing? Is he practicing geophobia? Eating some soil over there. So you can actually see on the right hand side, here's some leftover eggshell that I'm seeing there. So most of these penguins, they lay between 1 or 2 eggs per breeding season. In some cases, the emperor penguin will actually only lay 1 egg. Incubation period for these, they're known as the African penguin, or former name is the jackass penguin. And one clutch or brood is normally incubated for a period of 65 to 75 days, and that means the male and female, as I mentioned, they'll be taking turns to sit on the egg, to sit on the nest, and also to take care of the chicks. So once the little chicks hatch, they do have this very soft down feathers, and that's to keep them warm. I'm sure if anyone has been to Cape Town, you know how cold the weather is in Cape Town, so they need those soft warm down feathers in order to keep them warm while incubated. And once all of these penguins hatch, the little chicks will form a creche. So a creche is like a little nursery group of chicks that do feed and forage together. Come on, penguins, show us your little babies, please. I don't know if any of our other viewers have seen these little baby penguins yet. I think I saw a video. I did see a video. One of our viewers sent me one of the African videos of these little penguins, but you couldn't see, it wasn't a great view, but it did see 2 little very fluffy baby penguins. If you have a look on this penguin's face here, it's got these little pink patches just above its eyes there. And these patches do help to thermoregulate their temperature. So what's quite interesting about these penguins is compared to other birds, their eggs are actually quite small in comparison to their body size. The shells are very thick and they're quite tough, so they can withstand very cold temperatures and very rough terrain. So have a look at the shell here. So obviously I think this is a penguin poop patch here. So obviously the penguin, when male and female penguins, when they're sitting on the nest. Oh, come on little penguins, where are you? Oh. So obviously when the male and female penguins are sitting on their nest here, they need to still defecate, use the bathroom, so they're not a very great place to have a toilet though. Little penguin poop patch right at your doorstep. Really hoping we'll see these tiny penguins. Looks like this penguin's ready to have a good nap. No, it is miserable weather in Cape Town at the moment. So we're going to keep an eye on this penguin, folks. We're not seeing too much activity. She's not allowing us to see her little babies. So in the meantime, why don't we head across to the cheetah in Hoedspruit. Alrighty, so welcome back to Tammy, the cheetah here in Hoedspruit, folks, that has got her 4 little cheetah cubs. So she's being a very good mother and grooming her little cubs quite well. You can see 2 little bodies in the grass moving a little bit, and there's probably 2 little bodies next to her there. So yeah, she's definitely being quite a good mother, grooming her little babies quite well. So unlike with a lot of species that once they are born, they're able to automatically use the bathroom or defecate, cheetah and a lot of predators, even antelope too. So the mother will often lick the belly or the bottom of her babies in order to stimulate them to use the bathroom. Yeah, and in some cases, like I know warthogs, baby warthogs will actually feed on the feces or the dung of their parents, of their mother, and that helps to introduce the first bit of enzymes and gut flora into their stomach. so that they can digest their food and that they can use the bathroom. So John, age 7, thank you for sending your comment, John. So these cubs are just over 1 day old, so just over 24 hours old. So one of these cubs was born at 2 o'clock yesterday, so one of the cubs is just under 24 hours, and the other cub, baby cheetah cubs, were born yesterday morning. So very exciting, especially because these are such endangered species, these cheetah. They are apex predators, very known for their high speed, so they can reach 90 to 110 kilometers an hour for about 100 to 200 meters. They like to feed on medium-sized antelope, springbuck, bushbuck, impala, duiker. Yeah, so very good. They've got these claws, so they're like retractile claws, so their claws are constantly out all the time. It's almost like those famous runners, or if you're an athlete and you spend a lot of time running and you have spikes, so do cheetah, and they have these claws to help them grip into the soil, and they use that long slender tail of theirs. See, this female cheetah's got these beautiful spots, and this long slender tail is used almost like a rudder to help them keep balance while they're running, and their spine almost flexes and bends like a spring to help fling them into action. Up. So often with cheetah, leopard, lion, most predators, you'll see them moving their cubs from one area to the other. With lions, I've seen a female lion actually grab the head of her baby cheetah, a baby lion cub, and move them, but they're very gentle with their cubs. They won't often actually penetrate the skin because they're very gentle with these cubs. So in cheetah, I spoke about that little fluffy patch on the back of their neck that this female cheetah will use in order to move her cubs to a new area to keep them safe and sound. So while we are watching this female cheetah licking her cubs here, I've got a bit of an update from some of our African locations that I was going to share with you today. So over at Nkoro in South Africa, we've had a really cool sighting. It looked like it was last night, of a serval that came down to the watering hole to drink. Shame he was being harassed by some blacksmith lapwings. Over in Rosie's Pan, there were some leopards, 2 leopards that came down to Rosie's Pan. It's also in South Africa 2 days ago in the evening. One little female leopard that was joined by a male. Could have been a pair of leopards that were having a bit of a honeymoon period, maybe getting ready to make their own little leopard babies. Over in Kruger in Salati, also about just under a week ago, there were 2 crocodiles in the river that looked like they were fighting over a piece of meat. They had you could just see their eyes glowing at night, and they had a piece of meat between the 2 of them. So often crocodiles will have to fight for food with one another. Over in Wangi Safari Lodge, also at night, about 5 days ago, there was a buffalo that was showing off a very fancy headpiece. Often with buffalo, when they're moving through the bush, they get these branches stuck in their horns. So quite funny to see that male buffalo. So if you want to go and have a look at any of these videos, please head over to the Africam Instagram page. You can see quite a variety of different animals and wildlife that can be found on these Africam cameras all over Africa. I'll probably share a few of these on my story as well, so you can go and check those out too. But yeah, lots of very interesting animal interactions and behaviors. I know the other night there was a zebra that gave birth that they captured on the Africam camera. I don't know if they have uploaded that yet, but yeah, lots of very cool information and videos that you can watch there about animals that have been caught on camera, that might not have been expecting to have cameras close by. So yeah, lovely to kind of view wildlife without them knowing that we're watching them. It's very, very good female cheetah. So Tammy is being very, very persistent in making sure that she keeps these little cubs of hers clean, but also it's very essential that she makes sure that they are using the toilet, that they are digesting their food properly. So she'll be licking their bellies, licking their bottoms, just to make sure that they use their toilet. So seeing as we are learning about Kenya today, kids, I believe Kenya was a country of interest that a lot of the our school that's joining us today wanted to know about a bit about the culture and wildlife in Kenya. So just a bit of information I found about Kenya today. So there are about 40 different ethnic groups in Kenya, which do all have their own language. So imagine having one country with over 40 languages. Isn't that crazy? I know in Zimbabwe we've got 9 official languages, obviously because we have a lot of different countries around us. That's a lot of people bringing their languages in. So yeah, that's a lot of different languages within one country. So yeah, the 2 most common spoken languages in Kenya, obviously English and Swahili, and those are the most common languages that are taught in schools. The Maasai people, which are the people of the traditional people of Kenya, very well known for their traditional clothing. The traditional cloths that they wear are called their shuka cloths that they wear around them. Beadwork, I know beadwork is very much a big part of not just African cultures but all over the world. Beadwork is very important and can indicate different I know in South America they have different beads and different colors for if you are married, if you're single. Different families can also have different kind of beadwork as well as pots and pottery. I know that in West Africa there's a lot of different tribes that will have different signatures on their pottery. So beadwork is a very important part of the Kenyan culture, as well as music and dance. So yeah, that made me happy when I heard that music and dance are a very important part of Kenyan culture. They have a lot of celebrations as well as rituals and storytelling that is demonstrated through music. I think music is a great way to bring people together. What's happening? This female cheetah seems to be very insistent on cleaning these little babies. So I love how these cheetah, just like zebra, cheetah and humans, we all have our own unique fingerprints. Zebra have their own unique stripes and patterns, same as cheetah. So these cheetah will have very unique spots and spot patterns per every individual. So if you want to identify different cheetah or individuals, you'll often take a spot pattern on the leg that's quite unique, either on the rump or on the front shoulder. Find a unique spot pattern. So have a look here. This female Tammy looks like she's almost got an arrow just behind her front elbow there. So there's a series of dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there's about 6, 7 dots here, and they look like a bit of an arrow. So that would be a very interesting unique feature that this leopard has, and that would help you to identify this individual. Isn't this special, being able to watch this cheetah with her little cubs? So got a good question here from Dark Mane Lover. So Dark Mane Lover asked if this female cheetah Tammy experienced quite excruciating pain during labor. So I know any mammal, obviously they do have a bit of pain while giving birth, especially if it's their first one. But yes, most animals like cheetah do experience pain during birth, although they don't show it in the same expressive way that humans do. So labor in cheetah does involve a lot of contractions and physical exertion, just like with humans, which can likely cause some discomfort or pain, especially during the actual delivery of the little cubs. Oh, check out these guys. I hope that answers your question, Dark Mane Lover. How cute. So quite an interesting fact about cheetah cubs is they are born very small and very undeveloped. So you have animals that are born precocial and artificial. So There's some animals that are born like cheetah cubs, blind, almost helpless, defenseless, that need to be taken care of by their mother for their first few months. They would die without their mother. And then some birds and animals that are born like antelope, that within a few minutes they can stand, within 30 minutes they can run and already keep up with their mother. They can actually see, their eyes are open, whereas as we spoke about these little baby cheetah, their eyes are closed. You see how vulnerable they are. They're still very wobbly, don't have much balance, and if they were not with their mother, they would definitely be very difficult for them to survive. So this smaller size of these little cubs reduces the strain of delivery, but it doesn't eliminate the pain. So because predators have a much shorter gestation period than antelope, that means that they are not as large when they're born. Like, my goodness, when a zebra gives birth, I feel like the last 2 months of a zebra's gestation period, she looks like her stripes have actually changed shape, and she looks very round. Like, oh my goodness, I've seen so many pregnant female zebra that I've actually felt sorry for them. They look awful. They look so uncomfortable. Their bellies are bulging, and when they give birth, they need to have that long gestation period in order to give birth to their young that are able to run and fend for themselves. So a gestation period of a cheetah is about, I think it's about 80 to 90 days, whereas a gestation period of a zebra is 360 to 365 days. So you can see there's quite a big gap in that gestation period. So wild animals have also evolved to mask a lot of the pain, or they deal with pain a lot better than humans do, and this is to avoid the appearance of vulnerability to predators. So even if a cheetah is in pain, it will usually remain quiet and composed. Otherwise, if it made a lot of noise and looked like it was in pain, it might attract a lot of predators. So the female cheetah will look for a nice, quiet, hidden spot in order to give birth to her young that is away from any other predators and to keep her safe. So we've got a comment that's just come through about our cheetah naming poll that is going through on Instagram. So Dave Atwood has sent through some name suggestions. His name suggestions are linked to speed, agility, sonic, flash, zoom, pacer. So yeah, so these linked to speed and agility. So the 4 name suggestions from David are sonic, flash, zoom, and pacer. I like those names, David. So if anyone else has any name suggestions, please feel free to also send those through. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you and hear what are good cheetah names. Yeah, I know in a lot of countries, a lot of animals will be named after... Oh, sorry, little guy. Be careful. So a lot of animals will have a local or traditional name, and it will often be named after a characteristic that it might have had from a young age. So I know like Nizibindi. Nizibindi is quite a popular name. I know of a rhino named Nizibindi, and also obviously our elephant from Abulla, big male elephant from Abulla is known, I think the translation is proud or brave one. So often brave, grace, patience, strength. These are all characteristics that might have a local name associated with it that you'll name the animals after. So we've got one little baby suckling in the fluff of his mother's belly. So Penelope Kenyon has asked if the babies are crying for their mum. I can't hear any crying sounds of the baby cheetah just yet, but if you want to hear what the crying sound is, I did play it earlier, but I'll give it another play. So if anyone wasn't listening earlier, I'll have a bit of a quiet moment so that we can listen to the sound of a baby cheetah alarming, and also just to enjoy watching this little cheetah cub try to suckle from its mother.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
South Africa's wild places are closer than you think because Federal Airlines brings them to you. From the calm of our FedAir lounge to the smooth boarding of our trusted fleet, we take care of the journey so you can enjoy the adventure. Our flights go beyond the ordinary, connecting you to South Africa's most remote and extraordinary locations. Federal Airlines, your gateway to the South African wild.
That's quite a good question, Ellie. I'm not actually 100% sure, but I am guessing that Tammy is quite a seasoned cheetah. She's 9 years old, this female cheetah, so she should be very accustomed to raising a little family of cheetah. But I'm sure if she does happen to reject some of these little cheetah babies, they might rescue the little ones. The problem is, I think they only have one other female cheetah at the sanctuary. I might be mistaken if anyone else has been to this Hoedspruit Endangered Species Center and they know if they have more than one other female cheetah. I think her name is Becky. So, and it can be quite difficult to reintroduce such tiny little baby cheetah to another female. So sometimes it's better to just let nature take its course, because yeah, it's always best if the baby cheetahs stay with their mother. But yeah, if say a few days go by and these little babies aren't being fed, then the center might take over and try to rescue the abandoned cheetah cubs. But again, it's so difficult to raise these cubs. They need a very specific formula, which this is the milk that is provided by this female cheetah. So to replicate a cheetah's milk is very difficult. Just like any animal, I know with any rescue center, like pangolins for example, they need to have a very concentrated formula. I know West African pangolins or tree pangolins, they actually use a powdered cat's milk to feed these pangolin. I don't know, they found that cat's milk is the closest thing to a pangolin's milk that can help you to raise an orphaned or abandoned pangolin. So same with cheetah, it'll be a very specific formula that they need. They need to be taken care of. They can't be too cold, they can't be too hot. They need the mother to be able to lick their bellies and their bottoms to get them to use the bathroom. So yeah, it's quite a process involved in order to raise any abandoned or orphaned babies. Mercedes Bean, yes. I don't know, this Tammy, yeah, she seems to be ignoring two of her little babies. I hope that she gives them some love and attention on the side there, because it seems like there's only the two most new, well, the two last born cubs that she's actually feeding. So I hope she goes and allows the other two cubs to also feed as well. Penelope Kenyon, yes, these baby cheetah calls or cries do sound like a screeching bird. If you were roaming around in the bush, you probably might not know, but it's also a very good thing to listen out for, because if you're walking in the bush and you come across a female cheetah and you happen to be close to her cubs, she will definitely not be in the best of moods, especially like lions as well. If you bump into some lion cubs, yeah, you're going to get a very angry mommy lion after you. So Lisa's asking why Tammy is in the sanctuary. Lisa, I'm actually not too sure why Tammy is in the sanctuary. I will definitely contact the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Center. I did ask for some information yesterday. I only got a very short bit of information, but in a lot of cases, as mentioned earlier, these animals have sustained injuries. Some of these animals that stay in the centers and cannot be released, like I know there's a couple of wild dogs are generally quite good with having broken injury or broken limbs and being released into the wild. Cheetah are not so good. So sometimes if they have some fatal injuries that might hinder their ability to survive in the wild, they would stay in a sanctuary. But I know that there's also a wild dog in a sanctuary in Zimbabwe that it also has some brain damage, so it's not able to be released into the wild. Alright folks, well, our little baby cheetah are not going anywhere. They're still going to be with us. Why don't we head across to Old Donyo over in Kenya to see what animals have come to the watering hole. Oh my goodness, folks, have a look here. So we've got just arrived at Old Donyo. We have Mount Kenya, if I'm not mistaken, in the background there, which looks like it could have snow on the top. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like we've got a giraffe. Could be a male giraffe just peeking his head into view on the right-hand side of the camera here. So I know our kids are learning about Kenya today. So while we're on the topic of Kenya, so Kenya is a world-renowned area. So it's very rich for its dense wildlife. So it does offer some of the best safari experiences on the continent of Africa. So it has quite a variety of landscapes, from open savannas to forests to lakes and mountains. So it's, yeah, it does provide incredible array of animal species. And if you break down some of the iconic wildlife that we can find in Kenya, so they do have the big five. So kids, if you don't know of the big five consist of lions, leopard, elephant, buffalo, and rhino. It does have the big five as well as giraffe, we can see here. So a lot of really cool iconic species. Cheetah also do occur here in Kenya as well. So let's see, what do we have here? So it looks like we have two male giraffe, lots of oxpeckers, lots of wattled starlings coming down for a drink, and Cape glossy starlings maybe. Whoop. Looks like this male giraffe is giving himself a nice scratch on the other male giraffe. It's a typical stance for giraffe to fight. So often giraffe will practice what's called necking. They'll stand head to tail and battle it out with each other, swinging those mallet-shaped heads at each other. So Rebecca is asking a question about how, I think it is probably for our cheetah. So average lifespan, Rebecca, of cheetah is about 8 to 12 years. So I'm sure in a sanctuary they could probably live to 11, 12 years, but in the wild they'll probably live about 9 to 10 years of age. Obviously lots of animal can live longer in a sanctuary except for elephant. Elephants don't do so well in captivity, but yeah, it's average lifespan of a cheetah. What a lovely view this is. This male giraffe is giving us a glare, an evil stare. He's wondering what is happening there. So while we're on the topic of Kenya, some other animal species we get in Kenya besides giraffe. So giraffe does in Kenya they do host 3 different subspecies of giraffe. The Rothschild giraffe, reticulated, and the Maasai giraffe. So they have 3 different giraffe species in Kenya. They have zebra, hippo, crocodile, wildebeest. So they have the great migrations of wildebeest through Kenya and the Serengeti into the Masai Mara. On the predator front, they do have hyena, jackal, caracal, and serval. These are the predatory species that they do have. And the very special and endemic species to Kenya, antelope or mammal species, is the Grevy's zebra, which is an endangered species, which is only found in Kenya. They have the hunter's hartebeest, which is also a critically endangered species native to Kenya. Oh wow, check. Isn't that a beautiful view? Look at those giraffes. So, check. These giraffe probably about to start fighting. Looks like they're testing with one another, or he just has an itchy head too. Oh no, it's a female. So this female, quite unusual to see a female necking with a young male giraffe. Oh, and another rare antelope species they also get in Kenya is a bongo. So they have a very rare bongo antelope. I do love the bongo. Spent a lot of time searching for bongo in West Africa, but they do have a very special bongo antelope in Kenya as well. What is this female up to? She's either got a very itchy head, or she's trying to pick a fight with this young male giraffe. This is an incredible view to see the Mount Kenya with some snow on the top, blue skies, lots of clouds, and our giraffe. What a lovely scene. Darkmane lover, I agree with you, they're definitely a very beautiful setting. And this giraffe is very curious of us on the right hand side. So nice to see that the giraffe have an opportunity to come down and drink. Sometimes this watering hole is inundated with elephants, so lots of elephants come down to this watering hole. Oop. Again, I'm not sure what's going on here, folks. If anyone has an explanation, please send through your thoughts on what's happening with this female giraffe that is necking with a young male giraffe. Maybe she has been pestered by him and he's been following her for days, and now she's done with his nonsense and she's now deciding to give him a hard time. So sorry folks, I believe this is Mount Kilimanjaro on the other side of the giraffe there. Not Mount Kenya. Apologies for that. So yeah, send us through your name suggestions that you have for our little baby cheetah. Here's the WhatsApp number, was on screen. Or you can also use the QR code now to send through those comments. I'd love to know what you think of this female giraffe's very strange behavior, necking with a male giraffe, or if you want to send through any name suggestions for our little baby cheetah. Would love to see what names we come up with. Looks like the sun is shining, the sun is coming out. So talking about baby predators, there's also a female, oh, hello warthog, a female lion in this area that had some cubs that were seen probably about a month ago now. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll have some warthogs coming down for a mud wallow. Looks like this warthog is being pestered by some oxpeckers. So we have some oxpeckers here that are really pestering this little female warthog. So while we are here in Kenya, kids, I've got some more interesting facts about Kenya for you. So some food in Kenya that they feed on, they call, similar to in southern Africa, so a lot of African countries, we feed a staple diet is maize. So maize that's made into a porridge form, or almost like polenta. I know some people know it as polenta. In Kenya, they call it ugali, and they also eat nyama choma, which is also barbecued or dried meat in the coastal regions. They do feed on a lot of coconuts, seafood, and Indian cuisine, as well as beans. So beans is also a staple diet. Tea is a very part of their tradition and culture in Kenya, but what's more popular is coffee. I know Kenya is very well known for having very good coffee. So a lot of arts and crafts are done in Kenya. So a lot of the traditional the different cultures have different arts and crafts that they might make, like beadwork. They do wood carvings, weaving as well with reeds into baskets. So yeah, lots of different arts and crafts that are made in Kenya. What's going on with this female warthog? What are you up to, girl? Is she waiting for the other warthogs to come to feel safe enough to have a mud bath, or itching her nose?
Experience the magic of the wild on an unforgettable 4-night safari at Mabula Nature Reserve, hosted by the one and only Stephen Falconbridge. With Steve as your private guide, you'll gain incredible insights into Africa's wildlife, leaving with knowledge and memories to last a lifetime. Get hands-on with conservation, track elusive cheetahs, and even take to the skies on a hot air balloon ride. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Chidzana na tsima ra ntumbuluko Dlovukazi ya xitsundzuxo hosi ya rhumela.
How cool is this?
Huge. So there are some regular warthogs that come to visit this watering hole and normally have a very nice mud bath. It's quite entertaining watching warthogs mud bath. Looks like we have another female that's joined the giraffe party here today. So some information about the climate and weather in Kenya. So Kenya does lie on the equator. So it is a tropical climate. A lot of the conditions do vary depending on the altitude and geography. And temperatures during the day can be about 20 to 26 degrees Celsius or 68 to 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and at night it drops all the way down to about 10 to 15 degrees Celsius and 50 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So rainfall is moderate and does come in 2 seasons. Can be quite hot and humid in some areas, but of course you get the coastal regions that do get a nice coastal breeze. So there's quite a variety of different temperatures in Kenya. Oop, looks like our female warthog has come back to have a mud bath. She does seem quite nervous, quite nervy. As you can see, she's a female. She's only got 1 set of warts. Also, her tusks are quite small. So we have a question from Spas Yankov here, is asking about warthogs. It's quite rare to see warthogs here. Spas, I have seen quite a few warthogs here. There's a few different families I see coming through, females and their little ones. So it's not a rare sighting to me. I would say warthogs are quite commonly seen in Kenya, and you do actually get bush pigs in Kenya, Spas. So I just had a look. And there are warthogs, bush pigs that you do get in Kenya, so they do prefer to have dense forested thick habitats, and of course they are nocturnal pigs, so they do spend a lot of their time, they're very shy, spend a lot of their time only coming out at night. So bush pigs are a lot more stocky in their body and have a very coarse, bristle, reddish brown coats. So yes, they do have bush pig in Kenya. So let's watch this female warthog as she has a lovely mud bath. She seems very nervous, I must say. Come on, Gilly. Come and have a bit of a mud bath for us. We'd love to see this warthog. They really get into it, these warthogs, when they're mud bathing, and it's quite entertaining, especially watching the little ones. So she could be practicing what's known as geophobia. So she could be also feeding on the sand here. Maybe there's some salt and minerals. Whoop, her little oxpecker friend that was on the warthog is also deciding it's a perfect time to have a bit of a sand bath. So birds do dust bath as well. Perfect place for them to rid themselves of some parasites. They go down onto the ground and fluff their feathers about on the soil and try to flick up as much sand and soil as they can in order to remove excess oil and any parasites on their feathers. So Gillian is sending through a question about what is a group of giraffe referred to as. So if they giraffe are moving in a specific area together, they are known as a a journey of giraffe. And if they're standing in one area for a prolonged period of time, they're known as a tower. Giraffe are not, they don't form very close-knit family bonds, unlike elephant or cheetah coalitions. A group of male cheetah are known as a coalition, so they don't form these close-knit family bonds, but so they will kind of move around a lot, so move from one group to the other, go and hang out over here for a bit, go hang out over there, join this group, join that group, so they're not very close family orientated individuals. I'm guessing this might be a bit of courtship display between this male and female. Although this is not a fully grown adult male, I would say he still needs a bit of growing. He's still got to bulk up in his shoulders a bit. I'm not sure if fighting with this female is going to win her affection, but she definitely seems to be the instigator of the necking that's going on here. So I've very rarely seen a female giraffe and a male giraffe necking together, so it's quite a rare sighting. Pretty cool to witness. Thank you for your comment, Marco Casa. Really appreciate all these comments coming through. Lots of good information. Lovely to share. Yeah, thank you for your comment. Check out this female warthog. She's still... There's no grass here, so warthogs at this time of year, especially in Kenya, you can see it's lovely and green. They've obviously had a bit of a flush of rain, all this greenery coming up. So warthogs during this time of year will be feeding on the tops of the grass. They don't spend so much time on their haunches as in the dry season, but in the dry season, when there's not much food to go around, that's when warthogs will spend a lot of time on their haunches, digging up roots, shoots, and tubers to feed on. So warthogs are also omnivores, so that means that they do feed on meat from time to time. So like at Safari Lodge in Victoria Falls, at the vulture feeding, I have occasionally seen some warthogs there looking for a few scraps of some leftover meat, and I have actually on a few occasions seen warthogs at kill sites feeding on the stomach contents and guts of a dead animal. This is, again, not something I would want to be feeding on for my lunch or dinner, but yeah, good way for these warthogs to get their protein in, same as bush pigs. Bush pigs are also omnivores. Whoop. Wow, check out this big guy coming in, folks. So we're just talking about male giraffe and how this other young male is a bit of a poor example of a specimen, a male giraffe, whereas have a look at this guy. So a beautiful, big, handsome male giraffe has just come in to show us what a perfect specimen of a fully grown male giraffe looks like. So, and of course, the female has very quickly decided that he's a rather handsome guy, and she's going to go hang out with him rather than yeah, this other youngster she was with. So actually a lovely photo here. Isn't this a beautiful photo moment? We've got these incredible three giraffes standing side by side, Mount Kilimanjaro in the background with some snow on the top, beautiful blue skies and clouds. Oh, check out this boy. So this big male came into the picture and he decided that, yeah, no point wasting time with this youngster, and he tried to move him away. All right, folks, why don't we head over to one of our other locations and see what's happening back in South Africa over at Tau. Alrighty, so welcome to Tau Game Lodge, everybody. This is in Madikwe in South Africa. Crocodile activity. I do love the crocodile activity here at Tau. It's been a bit difficult to find these crocodiles lately. As you can see, there's lots of thick reeded vegetation on this pan or watering hole. So yeah, it can be a bit difficult to spot these crocodiles, but yeah, it's a great location. There's a male impala just in the distance there, some male wildebeest also hanging around this watering hole. It's very lush and green here after a very good rainy season. Yeah, but by the day we should see this watering hole start to dry up a little bit. We've got some zebra as well, so yeah, the watering hole will be drying up as the days move on. Oh, hello. Look, we've also got some little young waterbuck. So yeah, this location will start to dry up. It's very, very strange to see so much greenery. During the dry season, this location will be completely transformed where these water wildebeest are and the waterbuck are. Be completely dry and just be sand and rocks in the dry season, so these animals are going to be enjoying this nice lush greenery while it lasts. And this is another one of our locations where cheetah can also be seen. So I have seen a few videos on the Africam website of one cheetah coming down to have a drink at this exact location. So yeah, you never know what you're going to find. Lions as well. I have seen the one day we had the impala. They were looking for lions. Oh, there's our crocodiles. Hello, hello. Just to have another epic sighting for the day. A big crocodile lying in the mud on the side of the water there, blending in very well to his surroundings. Martina has sent through a comment. Yes, we've had some great sightings today, Martina. Thank you for joining us. This crocodile looks like it's been basking in the sunshine. Maybe, I don't think it's waiting for any sort of prey to come down to the watering hole, because he's definitely not hiding himself too well. Looks like he's actually sleeping. So these are ancient creatures, crocodiles. They've been around for over 2 million years. They have survived quite a mass extinction that did wipe out a lot of their ancestors. So crocodiles are probably the most closest relatives to dinosaurs. If you think of all these giant crocodile-looking creatures roaming the earth many, many years ago. Yeah, millions of years ago. I just would love to be in the dinosaur era, but I feel like lots of, yeah, it wasn't a safe time to be living on the planet. You could have very easily been scoffed up by a giant bird, or pterodactyls, very interesting creatures. So yeah, it's amazing how these crocodiles have survived so many decades on this earth. So there are 13 different species of crocodiles in the world. This is the Nile crocodile, which is the most common in Africa. You also get the slender snouted crocodile, which I spent a lot of time looking for in West Africa, in Congo. So slender snouted crocodile occurs in the Congo, Central African Republic, and DRC. And then of course in West Africa you get the dwarf crocodile, which unfortunately is very much poached for their skin, and they're used in a lot of traditional African medicine. So yeah, the Nile crocodile, they can grow up to 6 meters. Apparently one of the record crocodiles ever recorded was 21 feet. So a very long crocodile. Wouldn't want, yeah, it's definitely one of the species I'm most afraid of. Crocodiles and sharks, no thank you. And we have a male zebra, also just standing, relaxing. He's obviously very relaxed right now, enjoying his Thursday afternoon. So apparently Alex has sent through a comment. Apparently Alex is a secret crocodile lover. Alex, I will not join you on that. I'm not a crocodile fan. I have a deep respect for crocodiles. I keep my distance and stay very far away from crocodiles. Yeah, definitely very afraid of crocodiles. Always have to be very careful if you ever, yeah, swimming in any water that is in the wild. You must be very careful of crocodiles. They might not see them, but they can always be there. Dark mane lover, yes, that is a very muddy crocodile indeed. What a lovely sighting to see this crocodile. We did briefly see the crocodile yesterday, kind of slinking its way through the reeds. But yeah, didn't get the best visual or sighting of this crocodile. So Alex, yes, 13 different species. This is quite a few different species. Obviously, in Africa alone, so not only do we have the Nile crocodile, we have the dwarf crocodile, slender snouted crocodile, but in West Africa they also have, oh, there's 2 different names. I'm not too sure if it's the Central African Nile crocodile or the West African Nile crocodile. To me, it looks just like a Nile crocodile, just obviously in a different habitat. So yeah. Just in Africa, that's 4 species alone. I was hoping these rocks over here might be cattle egrets, but looks like they're just rocks. Maybe we'll find some water birds down here. So we had some white-faced whistling ducks yesterday, just on the vegetation in this pan here. Haven't seen the black crakes or common moorhen for quite some time. Often we get blacksmith lapwings down at this watering hole. Our Natal spurfowl does like to hang out in this very thick flattened acacia bush just off to the right. It's a nice fallen over tree that would be perfect for warthogs or antelope to rub themselves on. And we've got a female waterbuck. So it must be a nice cool Thursday afternoon here in Tau if we've got the waterbuck just relaxing in the grass here. Little harem of zebra. So a family group of zebra are known as a harem, or two harems of zebra. All seem to be gazing off into the distance somewhere. It's been really lovely views to see Tau with this lovely green grass, these yellow daisies.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Wild Earth has launched a special fundraising drive for our non-profit, the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. We're raising funds to source, create, and showcase thousands of untold stories. Stories that spark real action in conservation and social impact. Visit our website to donate and explore how you can become a founding donor.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. We'll be
And you pretend like you're a serviceman, eh?
Got no idea what's going on this reserve.
Expecting the unexpected.
Are we stuck down there?
What am I trying to do?
So we have another giant of Mabula.
That was incredible.
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a spectacular afternoon.
Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
The Nile crocodile populations are stable, but dwarf crocodile and slender-snouted crocodile, the populations, I would say, those are the species that we would more need to protect. Tinas, thank you for your comment. Greetings, Tinas. I hope that you're well. And my little Zimbabwean holiday was fabulous. Thank you so much, Tinas. It wasn't a... I was over in Zimbabwe last month for work for a horseback safari, 2-week horseback safari, which was fabulous. We had some incredible sightings. I got my wild dogs finally. And I just came back from a couple of days in Zimbabwe. It was more like a family reunion. But of course, I did manage to go and explore Matopus National Park, which is about 45 minutes out of Bulawayo, the second capital city of Zimbabwe. And had an incredible drive. Always nice to get out of town. And we did see five black eagles. So black eagle are a species that is a keystone species in Matopus National Park, as well as the white rhino. White rhino population are doing quite well there, and black eagle, lovely to see so many in that area. So they mostly feed on the hyraxes, rock hyraxes, but since the rock hyrax population has been decreasing, those black eagle have been really struggling. So thank you for your comment, Tinas. I hope that you're well and having a lovely day. today and enjoying watching the zebra here with us here live at the waterhole over in Tau Lodge in Madikwe. Oh, another collective name for a group of zebra are a dazzle of zebra. So it can be quite nasty biting each other's necks like that. So see those manes of theirs, the zebra have a very upright mane, and if a zebra is sick, that is the first indicator of a sick zebra, is if their mane is flopping over. Their immune systems, when they go down, they really affect the muscles in that neck, the fatty tissue, and that means their neck will flop over and they start to become sick. So it's a good indicator. Oop, watch out, guys. Waterbuck needs to be very careful. Maybe there's a crocodile lurking in these murky waters. Alrighty, folks, we've had a great time here at Tau Game Lodge. Why don't we head across to Cat-Eye Pan, also in South Africa, and see what else is out there for us today. So we're here at Cat-Eye Pan over in Olifants, and I'm trying to see what it looks like. We might have some impala just over in the distance on the right hand side of the screen here. I know this pan does have a very healthy frog population, which is always a very good indicator species. So frogs, just like fish, can be very good indicator species of a healthy environment. So it looks like there's lots of elephant activity in and out of this pan. You can see by the grass that has kind of been is now void from this area, so it can indicate that there's been lots of elephants coming in and out of this pan to have a drink. There's a female impala. Hopefully she'll come down for a drink as well. Otherwise, it looks like it's a nice sunny afternoon in Olifants area. Maybe a bit of a breeze to cool things down a little bit. Looks like a nice watering hole to go and have a mud bath. I'm not too much of a fan of black mud, so I'm not going to volunteer. I do love rivers though. It is always lovely to go and have a nice swim in a nice sandy river, nice clean sand. Otherwise this thick black cotton soil is definitely gets into your pores and stays there for quite some time. So unlike a warthog or a rhino, I'm not going to volunteer to go for a mud bath. Or an elephant spa. Elephants, I'm sure, would love to have a nice dirty muddy mud bath on a hot day. To see if there's any other birds around, maybe if any birds landing. Butterflies, if you're interested in butterflies, any sort of water source or pan can be a great place if you're sitting at a hide to get some nice close-up butterfly pictures. It's quite beautiful to be at eye level with butterflies when taking photos. Get some nice close-up pictures, see all kinds of details. Oop. Looks like something just slipped into the water. Could be a little terrapin. Oh, another little terrapin on the left. So lots of terrapins in this watering hole, obviously. So terrapins are like a water tortoise. They'll feed on little insects and nymphs in these little pans. Oh, lots of terrapins actually. And the defense mechanism of these terrapins is that they excrete this liquid that has quite a foul smell. And if you pick one up, they'll excrete this liquid, and it's quite an awful smell. Alrighty, folks, why don't we head back to our cheetah Tammy and see what she is up to with her little babies. Alrighty folks, so let's see, where are our little baby cheetah? I hope that they're all together and that all the babies have been able to have a bit of a suckle. So I'm counting, looks like we've got 3 little baby cheetah that are close to her. They need to be able to have a bit of a suckle. Just having a little bit of a quiet moment there just to appreciate these little baby cheetah. And try and see if I can find the 4th one. I'm only counting 3 little babies. Might still be one over in the grass, just to the side there. And yeah, one of the babies is right by his mother's chest there. He's kind of missing the place that he's supposed to be feeding at. But yeah, so special to watch these little cheetahs. So you can see these cheetah cubs, 2 are moving around. They look a little bit hungry, but one of the individuals is just kind of lying there, having a good little cheetah cat nap. Oh, she's giving her little one still busy. She's been very busy today, licking away, keeping those little ones clean, making sure that she stimulates them enough. So it's quite interesting when these baby cheetah are born. We could see how the female was very incessantly licking, especially their nose, the cheetah's, little baby's cheetah nose, the cheetah cub's noses, and that's also to help to encourage them to breathe as well, to take their first breath. What cute little bundles of fluff. So while we're on the topic of Kenya, folks, I have a few more bits of information. So we had a school with us today that was learning about Kenya, and I've got a few last pieces of information about traditions and cultures in Kenya. So Kenyans do make tapestries. So different ethnic groups have different kinds of tapestries that they like to create, and it does form different stories about their heritage and families. Ceremony is also a big part of their culture. So before you get married, there's a lot of different ceremonies that take place, and of course they do have a lot of folklores and tales and proverbs for kids that help to teach them about nature and protecting nature. So I thought that was quite interesting and quite important about teaching younger generations about wildlife and conservation in order to protect these very special creatures. A few more questions coming through here. And yeah, Deb Davis, thank you for your comment. Yeah, it's so important. Social media can be a very good educational tool, so I'm glad you've been enjoying my social media posts. Yeah, lovely to share a post about wildlife and conservation. I shared recently a post about fireflies. I had no idea about how endangered fireflies are. So while we're talking about endangered species, fireflies are another very small endangered species that no one thinks about. And if I think, when was the last time I actually saw a firefly? I'm sure our viewers can also think about that. It's definitely been quite some time. I last saw a firefly, so recently shared a post about things that each and every one of us can do to try to save the fireflies that are left. And it's small things like leaving your lights off outside and having sensor lights and all these small things we can do in order to protect some of these endangered species. So yeah, looks like our little baby cheetah. Two of them are cuddling and lying on each other over there. So Trixie Rose is sharing a comment about the crocodile. So apparently the biggest croc that Trixie saw was in Mabula in 1988. Apparently the guide said it was at least 6 meters long. That's very interesting, Trixie, because there's a giant crocodile at, which dam is it? Mvubu Dam, the main dam at Mabula. I mean, 1988 is quite some time ago, so I don't know if that crocodile is still alive, but I have definitely seen some giant crocodiles at Mabula. Next time we're there, maybe I can convince BK to come with a tape measure, and maybe we can measure that big crocodile at Mvubu Dam. Not too sure if BK will be up for that. I always come up with these crazy adventures and BK just goes along with it. But or crazy ideas. Oh, we should try this, we should do that with drone, or we can check this out. But I don't know if BK will be happy to go and measure a crocodile with me. But yeah, we'll try and get a rough idea on how big that crocodile is next time we're at Mabula. Some more comments coming through in a moment. Alright folks, there seems to be something happening at Naledi Dam, so shall we link over to Naledi and see what is happening at our other locations? Alrighty Okay, so it's been a while since we saw elephants, so lovely to have some elephant here at Naledi Dam over in Olifants, also in South Africa. They have come down to have a drink at the watering hole. Seems like they've completely drained this reservoir on the right hand side of water. Doesn't seem to be too much in there. And as we were speaking about earlier, we had some warthogs over in Aldonio that wanted to have a bit of a mud bath, and we were wondering about the elephants. So it looks like this one elephant bull on the left hand side is cooling himself down after what has probably been a warm day in the African bush. Penelope Kenyon, thank you for your comment. Yes, cheetah are very beautiful cats. We had a poll that went on yesterday to vote for your favorite predator between lion, leopard and cheetah, and I think we had a tie between leopard and cheetah. Yeah, we were also thinking about the cubs while we voted, to think of the cubs of lion, leopard and cheetah, and definitely I think leopard cubs are cuter, like the most cute out of all of them, but again I'm a bit biased because leopard are my favorite, one of my favorite predators. Oh, have a look, this male, these two male elephants, and in the elephant world they communicate a lot with each other by smelling each other, touching, and it's a good way for them to greet one another. A bit of aggressive behavior there. This is obviously a much bigger male and he wants his turn to drink from the water. So elephants will always go for the cleanest option for water. So in some cases they even break pipes in camps, like to drink out of swimming pools because they like to have the fresh, clean water. Imagine if humans were also like elephants and we greeted one another by putting our noses on each other's faces. That would be a very unusual way to greet one another. I think if I walked up to someone and put my nose onto their head, I might receive a backhand. It's definitely only a form of communication in the animal world. So Halida is asking a question about how do female cheetah feed. So that female cheetah, Tammy, she is in a sanctuary, in a endangered species center, so they will most likely feed her, but in the wild she will need to go and hunt and feed every few days to keep her body weight up, to make sure that she is in good condition, because if she doesn't eat enough food she is unable to feed her youngsters. Check out this elephant skin. Isn't it crazy to think of how wrinkly elephant's skin is and how thick that skin is? They can kind of handle a lot of abuse, the skin of elephants. If you think about elephants, they need to have very thick skin in order to move through all this very dense vegetation. So that skin of an elephant can be about 2.5 to 4 centimeters or about 1 to 1.5 inches thick. That's quite a thick skin that these elephants have, and that's to protect their bodies when moving through very dense vegetation. It's very wrinkled and creased. Bulls testing each other. So Amanda's just asked a very interesting question that I'm actually not too sure the answer. So if any of our viewers do know the answer, Amanda's wanting to know, will a cheetah eat her young like a domestic cat if the kitten is unwell? I'm not too sure, Amanda, but I do know in a natural environment, sometimes if one cheetah, one of the cubs dies, a female, like a leopard, I have seen videos of a female leopard eating a cub that was killed by lions, and that was in order to protect her still living cubs. So yeah, it's in nature, yeah, in a natural environment, every mother has to do everything she can to protect her young. So if she needs to discard of the bodies or remove those bodies of dead little cubs, she will, in order to protect her still surviving young. Yeah, so normally these cheetah, yeah, it can be quite a harsh environment for them. Lots of predators out there, so they'll do everything they can to protect those little ones of theirs. Look at this bull. He's not in musk yet, but he's got quite an attitude on him, this young bull here, must say. So these bulls are obviously on their own. I thought maybe they might be in a little bachelor group together. He's resting his trunk on this reservoir here. You can see lots of elephants coming in and out. So as the watering holes start to dry up, and dry season is upon us, winter, and everything starts drying out quite a lot, the elephants will start coming to these pumped watering holes, because all the pans that are filled up during the rainy season will start to dry out, and the only pans remaining will be the very big dams and watering holes, and the pans and watering holes that are being pumped. So that's why the dry season is generally a preferred time of year for safari, for good game viewing, and for wildlife sightings. But this time of the year is also a great time of the year for predators, and to see all these baby predators. I know a lot of lions in a lot of locations have also given birth, so April, May can be a great time to go on safari to find your little baby predators. All the cubs are being born generally around this time of year. This elephant is really having a lazy Thursday afternoon, isn't he? So he's lifted up his head there, maybe he smelt something. I think looks like he's having a very lazy trunk day. But again, if you had to carry on around a trunk that weighed a few kilograms, I think it would all feel the same. So David Atwood has been doing some research on cheetah for us, so thank you, David. So apparently he has found out that cheetah can reach 60 mph in about 3 seconds. So that's the acceleration rate. Isn't that incredible? So yes, David, they can reach very high speeds, but for a very short period of time. So 100 to 200 meters, and then they run out of juice. So yeah, they can reach very high speeds for very short periods of time. Unlike wild dogs can chase their prey for longer periods of time at lower speeds. So they have a lot of stamina and endurance to chase their prey, like kudu. So it's going to take quite some time for a pack of wild dogs to chase down some kudu. I know in Wangi National Park the other day there was a crazy sighting of some wild dogs that chased some kudu into a watering hole, and there were 3-4 kudu all in the watering hole, and there were lots of crocodiles in there too, so I'm sure the crocodiles were happy. And then the wild dogs unfortunately did end up capturing one kudu, and that was their lunch. So Spas Inkov, yes, it's been quite some time that we have been here to Naledi. Obviously with the rainy season there haven't been too many elephants coming through here, but now as the water all dries up we'll have a lot more elephant activity over at Naledi Dam. What is this elephant up to? Seems to be very indecisive. Maybe he's wondering, should I hang around here drink some more water? Should he follow his friend or should he go off on his own? So we've got a question from Louisa Hennekom about what is the weight of an elephant, baby elephant at birth. So generally an African elephant is about 90 to 120 kilograms at birth, or about 200 to over 200 pounds. That is crazy. So I think a baby zebra at birth is weighing in at about 30 to 40 kilograms. So yeah, it's quite heavy for an elephant. 90 to 120 kilograms. That's quite a large baby that this elephant gives birth to, and this is after a gestation period of about 22 to 24 months. Recent studies do show that
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart.
.60 kilometers away from Wangi Safari Lodge, so the hide, this camera is in the middle of Wangi National Park, and lovely to see this hippo. And it's quite an interesting story about this hippo. So I think there are a few male hippo that do reside in this pan, and one of them is quite a grumpy old guy, and he's actually killed a buffalo before. I don't know if it is this exact individual, but I do know that there is one resident hippo, male hippo, that does live in this pan, he often chases kudu buffalo away from the watering hole. He looks like he's got some very nasty scratches and injuries there. And yeah, on one day the hippo actually came out of the water. I saw the video. He came out of the water and he attacked a poor injured buffalo. He literally just bit him from behind a few times. The buffalo did not know what was happening, and of course he was quite injured, so he couldn't run away. So this hippo, gave this poor buffalo some very nasty puncture wounds in his rear end, and I think a few nasty gashes in his stomach, and the poor buffalo did end up dying under a bush a few hours later. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is this hippo. Looks like he's got lots of scars, lots of injuries, and he doesn't seem to be very happy sharing his waterhole with any other species. So hippos are herbivores, so there'll be no good reason should I say, for a hippo to attack another antelope like a buffalo. But for some reason that hippo is quite aggressive and killed a buffalo. We do not see that every day. So Spas Imkov, thank you for your comment. Yes, it is lovely to see this hippo at the safari lodge, at the hide over in Wangi. You can see it is drying up quite a lot on Wangi. I just spent some time there last month. It is lovely to be back. But yeah, it is drying up quite a bit. This hide concession in Wangi National Park is a very well-known area. In fact, the hide is, I think it's one of the top lodges in the Wangi area. They have incredible sightings. Wild dogs come through here. There's a pair of a cheetah coalition that lives on this concession. You can get the big pride of lions, up to 24, 26 lions that also roam in this area. I know some friends of mine are actually in Wangi at the moment, some photographers, and they filmed some lions devouring a poor buffalo the other day, and there was 22 lions all tucking in to this all-you-can-eat buffet. So yeah, it's a very well-known area, lots of incredible sightings, and yeah, so very awesome to see the hide here in Wangi. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get some hippo activity from this very grumpy male hippo. It's just strange to me to think of a hippo chasing antelope from a watering hole. Must be quite a grumpy old chap. You can see quite a nasty injury here, quite a nasty gash. Could have been a wound from another hippo. Maybe he was in a fight. Oh, is he doing a Dewey? Check out this hippo. He's turning around and putting his feet in the air. I know there was that hippo in Gauri that was called, I think his name was Dewey, that likes to play with a stick underwater. Yeah, he was always quite entertaining. So lovely to see this hippo having a great time. He's obviously very relaxed. So thank you to everyone who sent through your questions and comments today. Wildlife Lady, thank you for watching. Yeah, it's been a really great day here live at the waterhole. Cheetah cubs, hippos, giraffe, mountains, yeah, some elephants even. Good, some really great sightings that we've had today. Dark Mane Lover, thank you so much. So Dark Mane Lover saying thank you to all the Wilder team, the Zoomies, Africam, and everyone for a very lovely day here live at the waterhole. We got another comment from Karen Sachs. Thank you, Karen, for joining us today. Yeah, it's been a really lovely day. Some really awesome sightings. I hope that we will see these penguins with their chicks. Maybe tomorrow. We'll keep a lookout on that feed. It was quite difficult today. We just saw the adult penguin on the nest over in Cape Town at Stony Point. So I'm praying tomorrow we can see the baby penguins. Yeah, but I think we've had a really good day. Very sightings full day, lots of activity, and of course I'm looking forward to following our female cheetah Tammy with her 4 little cubs over the next couple of weeks or months. Yeah, very awesome to have this new camera as an addition to the Africam locations. So I just want to say a big thanks, folks, from me and the rest of the Wild Earth team for joining us today here live at the waterhole. Please don't forget to tune in to our sunset safari coming up next. We'll have a quiet moment just to enjoy this beautiful scenery with this hippo. Maybe he'll give us another roll. Thanks for joining us today, folks, and have a lovely Thursday afternoon.